Hoggie's beer reviews. Hoggie's beer reviews.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one of Hoggie's beer reviews. Now today we're doing a beer that I've been wanting to review for a very long time, and the reason for that is that this is quite possibly the first beer I ever tasted in my life. That's right. Today's beer, the original Michelob Lager, or Michelob Original Lager as it's now called. From what I've been told and what I vaguely remember, this is what my old man used to drink, so it's quite possible that this was the first beer that I ever tasted, you know, 25, 30 years ago. I didn't like it back then. Of course, no kid likes beer the first time they try it. We all put that nasty face because beer tastes nasty at first. Although I saw this thing on PBS a few months ago where they were talking about taste buds and the way that you process flavors and smells. And it turns out that kids, young kids, all of us when we're young, they process bitter flavors differently. So it actually, and you know, it's a thing that changes as you grow older, which is why kids for the most part don't like vegetables, don't like beer, those kind of bitter, strong flavors. And it makes sense. You know, people say it's an acquired taste. No, it's something I think your body adapts to as you grow older. Same thing with veggies. I eat a lot of vegetables nowadays. I love me some broccoli. Not when I was a kid, but I digress. Michelob Original Lager. This used to be Budweiser's premium beer. Their top of the line shit. It's not top of the line anymore because I bought this 6-pack for like $6. Michelob used to be just the one beer. Now Michelob is a line of beers. You know, they try to give us this bullshit Michelob Brewing Company, but no. It's Anheuser-Busch, guys. It's the Budweiser people. Always has, always will be. But this used to be their premium beer, as it says on the neck here. Michelob Original Lager was first brewed in 1896 as the beer for beer connoisseurs. It was available only in draft form and only at select locations, including the Michelob Tavern in St. Louis, where retailers and distributors were instructed on the proper methods of storing, pouring, and tasting this exceptional Munich-style lager. Cool beans. On the front label, you know, they're trying to craft this up and class it up a little. So on the front label it says, a unique blend of Hallertau, Strisel Spalt, and other hop varieties combined with two-row barley malt to create our signature Munich-style lager. Okay. Punching it up on Beer Advocate like we always do about this time. Let's see. Beer Advocate. Michelob's Original Lager. Out of 354 reviews, it receives a C overall. It is, of course, Anheuser-Busch in St. Louis, Missouri. It's categorized on here as an American Pale Lager, as opposed to the regular Budweiser, which is an adjunct lager. Adjunct lagers are those beers brewed with corn or rice, you know, an extra cheaper ingredients that cut the flavor and cut the cost, and that's where you get that nasty little corn kind of smell and taste and a bad aftertaste and all that stuff. So this is supposed to be brewed in the purest form, right? And it's 5% alcohol by volume. All right. Of course, now Michelob, this is like the main beer in the line of Michelob beers. There's the Michelob Ultra and the Amberbach and that Michelob Irish Red and the Pale Ale and all those craft beers that they've come out with. This is the original. I'm sure the recipe has been changed more than once since I first tried this beer in the very early 80s, but we'll see what it tastes like today. I break out my Budweiser glass. Actually, it's my Hurricane Wings glass, but unfortunately, it's a Budweiser logo on the back. What can you do? Yeah, I figured it was appropriate though. What can you do, right? Alright, let's go with this guy. And it's a twist off, so twist it right off. And here we go. It is a smoky beer, I'll give it that much. Now, I've bought this beer in the past, you know, before I really started getting into craft beer. I've had me some Michelob, but I mean, we're talking years and years ago. You know, and it was out the bottle. I never analyzed it. I never took a real good look at what Budweiser's premium beer is like. So, without further ado, let's get right to that. This is a very light golden color. It's crystal clear. I can see right through it. It's a shitload of carbonation. I mean, I don't know if you can make that out there, but yeah, that's a shitload of carbonation. The head looks better than it usually does on like a Budweiser. It's still kind of fizzy though. I always do that, you know, because like real cheap beers, you get that pop fizzy head. It's just like Coca-Cola, and you can just go, you know, you can hear the pop pop fizz fizz. But I mean, it looks like a good lager. I won't lie. It looks like something pretty damn decent. The smell is not pretty damn decent. I don't know if it's the cheaper ingredients that Anheuser-Busch uses. And before you defend Anheuser-Busch, remember, the 6-pack costs $6. They have to use cheap ingredients because they're selling it for a low price. That's business 101. You can't use quality ingredients and then sell it cheap. You lose money, right? That's why craft beers go for 12 bucks a 6-pack, but I digress. You smell the lager yeast, and you can make out a bit of that earthy kind of quality of those European hops. But there's also kind of a funky smell in there that's very reminiscent of other Budweiser beers, namely Busch. Yeah, there's still like a little bit of a veggie corn kind of thing in there. And that carbonation is still going like crazy, man. So, I don't know, it doesn't smell too great, but it doesn't look too bad. So, let's just try it. You know, it's not that bad. There's still something in the flavor that reminds me of Budweiser. I don't know if it's that they use the same brewing equipment or maybe the same, you know, ingredients from the same suppliers, the same kind of extracts or whatever. I don't know. But there is no nasty adjunct corn flavor. It's crisp at the beginning. It has a smooth body across the middle. It finishes with a little bit of bitter, you know, earthy, bitter kind of hops. It's not bad. It's tame as hell, though. I mean, there's nothing offensive about this beer. It's halfway decent, you know, German-style lager. But there's better German-style lagers out there, you know, from Germany. You know what? I don't want to run long and I don't want to keep bashing Anheuser-Busch. I do believe they make substandard products for the brainwashed masses. But what can you do? As far as this beer goes, though, it's not horrible. It's actually a pretty decent stab at a German-style lager. This is 10 times better than Busch or regular Budweiser any day of the week. And you know what, if you're going to give your money to Anheuser-Busch, buy this instead of Busch or Budweiser. At least with this, they're trying to make a decent beer. And I'll leave it at that. I guarantee you this is not the recipe that they were brewing in 1980, but, you know, that's for them to know and us not to be told. Michelob Original Lager. A very weak glass half full. Very weak glass half full. It could be so much better, but you know, they cut corners. But it's still better than Budweiser and Busch. At the end of the day, it's better than Budweiser and Busch or Natty or any of that shit. I'll leave it at that, and I'll get out of here. Let you guys go back about your business. Take care. Thanks for watching. Cheers.